Good morning all, hope you're doing well. And we've got this new thing in the QDB service. It's a regular sheet updates. Now, I've been asked many times over the years, do you keep backups of the data? And there wasn't any way of doing it until recently. And I found a way to um, copy the sheet into a thing called a CSV file, which is a comma separated value. So it keeps like a backup in like a data format. Okay, so I think you may have heard of CSV file, but if not, it's a recognized extension for data. I'll show you what a CSV file is when you can see it by coming to patreon.com, and then you find a post called Exciting Update Regular QDB Sheet Backups. Now, what's really cool about having backups is that we can see the performance over time of a particular currency. Say, for example, a currency pair, they're very long, and we can check their volumes, we can check their positions. And the following day, because they're long, we should see price reverse, and that will be a case. We'll see that on a regular basis, but we'll also have the backup to prove it. So that's really, really powerful. Okay, we can use the Aussie USD as an example. So we'll come to the patreon.com, and just to say, we can check the basket sentiment. We not just necessarily the Australian dollar USD, but also the Australian dollar basket. So that's really powerful, and the USD basket as well. So you come to patreon.com, click that, and you come to this Google Drive. Now, I will need to approve your access, but that's just a case of you just clicking that link, then I'll be notified via email, and I disapprove it. You'll be given viewer access, and so you can see the content. So if we come to Thursday, and we can see this is what a CSV file looks like. It's a recognized format, and you can open it just by simply double clicking it. And let's use the Aussie USD. All right, so they're 85% long with a long volume of 5271 lots. So they're very long, okay, Thursday. And now don't forget Friday was NFP, okay? So they were going very long into NFP. So remember 85, okay, and 5271. And the following day, and so they'd gone to 90% long, and they've added, because we were 5271, they really added long on their lots. Okay, so they've gone long on the percentage and long on the volume, which makes sense, right? So what happened to price? Let's have a look at price, and come to the API. Aussie USD with nearly a 1% move to the downside. So that will just be a very typical scenario. It happens all the time. If they're long and they add long, they should get punished. If they're short and they add short, they should get punished. Now, we'll have that data to back up that theory in speech marks. It's not really a theory, it's more like a proof. It's like a proof of what happens, and what will be really interesting, because of the squeeze, we should see a reversal, because these guys have only got finite funds, and then they'll get stopped out, okay? And they must get stopped out for our current logic that we use in the Discord and in Patreon. We're trying to gauge when they're going to get out at a loss, and then we can enter. Now, if they don't get out at a loss, and then they just don't have stop losses, that's going to screw things, okay? So what we need to do, look at the long volume come Monday night and see if they've added long on their lots. I don't think they will have, because no one can sustain that move to the downside. If you've seen a 1% move, you're going to see a reduction in long volume, okay? And that in itself is a topping indication. So if they add long, it's going to be bearish, but if they reduce long, it could be bullish for that pair. Now, of note, you come to Aussie USD on the sheet. There's one thing that stands out on here that took my attention, is the fact that the bears are making profits. Now, what should happen is that these guys are undergoing lots of drawdown, and these guys are undergoing lots of drawdown, and they are, the bulls are, they're 203 pips underwater, which is pretty horrible. But these guys are enjoying some nice profits. In fact, they're at 62 pips profit. that would be unusual, because what should happen is that these guys are wrong and these guys are wrong. So that's of note. So when we come to Monday night, Monday night, we should see that reduce, okay? And it will then be a proof. What happens is that the price punishes the sentiment, basically. And the sentiment is the leading indicator for price performance. And what's absolutely crazy amazing is that we'll have backups every single day to prove this system, this proof, okay? And so that's it. I'll be running these files through Bing AI or some AI program, and I'll ask it to examine the difference over time. We're looking at the volumes per se, and we can look at a particular currency pair, and then we can get that into a nice chart. We'll then be able to measure how much, like an increase in volume, how much is that on price performance. So if they add 1,000 lots long, how much does that equate to in price performance terms? So we'll have that data, and I won't be actually doing any calculations myself. I'll just get the AI to do it. I'll run these files through the Bing AI. I think most of you have got this on your computer, the Copilot. It's really, really, really amazing. So get used to the AI stuff if you're not familiar with it. It's really powerful. Once we've got lots and lots of data, I'll do a dump in there, and then we can get some really nice juicy metrics and charts and things like that. And so going forward, if we have like a 1,000 lot increase on a particular currency pair, we will then be able to know from back testing how much that move equates to in price performance terms. So we can then use that data to know what to expect from a currency pair. And that's it. So this data is available for light tier only, light tier and above, but you must be a Patreon subscriber. Okay, so you have to be at least a $5 a month subscriber to get access to this data, and you'll have access to it forever, because we've got the script that runs every single day automatically. So the price tiers, they start from $5 a month up to $30. For $30, you've got the spreadsheet and you've got Discord. With the light tier, you'll get access to this data and also the posts on Patreon as well. So hopefully that helps. And by springtime 2025, we're going to have reams and reams of data, and then we can number crunch and get some nice metrics and some nice charts, and it'll just be really, really powerful as well. So remember what I was saying about the Australian dollar USD is that we should see that number reduce, okay? Because these guys can't hold long. If they hold long, it's going to really screw things, okay? So they've got to get stopped out in order for us to use the sentiment efficiently and effectively. If they're trading without stop loss, it's going to screw things quite bad, all right? And then they did it for the yen as well. It's worth noting earlier on in this year, they were trading across yen and without stops, and of course they got blown up. So I'm kind of hoping they don't do it on the Australian dollar, but they may. So we'll keep an eye on 6111 on the long volume by Monday night. Okay, so I have to see if that number gets reduced. They got blown up. Okay, and that's what we want to see. We need them to be blown up in order for us to trade the sentiment. Okay, and that's it. So I wish you a great weekend. There's possibly no COT data. Of course, Krishnan's in India, and he's going to get back tomorrow night. So apologies for that, but at least you've got some data to look at if you're a Patreon subscriber. This should be really, really powerful going forward. I wish you a nice weekend, and I'll speak to you guys soon.